And despite investor fears hitting global markets yesterday, today London shares opened higher. But let's see if that sentiment still persists as intraday. Let's talk to Juliana. Hello, Juliana. Good afternoon. So what are the intraday numbers saying? In early trade, we saw the FTSE 100 and 250 go sunny side despite the coronavirus fears. And what are the factors driving sentiment there?
Good afternoon, Chimizzy. Well, yesterday's triple-digit plunge by most global markets was called a bloodbath. It wasn't that bad this morning. The FTSE opened, as you said, sunny side up, but the sunny side hasn't been long-lived. This is London, so at the moment the FTSE 100 is in the red, and it seems as if the pound is unchanged against the dollar, trading at about $1.29. The biggest movers, really, or I'd say the biggest fallers, are aerospace and defence manufacturing company Meggitt. Their shares were down by about 5% this morning. They deliver parts to the Aeromax, the grounded Aeromax 737. And not only has the grounding really plummeted them, they're also suffering the effects of COVID-19. Also as well, the specialty chemical group Croda, their shares are down 4.2%. So they're the biggest fallers on the FTSE 100 at intraday.
And on data front, Barclaycard's new SME barometer shows small businesses are relatively upbeat in 2020. Any idea what's driving that upbeat sentiment there?
Well, even though we're heading to March, it seems as if business optimism is still reeling because of Boris Johnson's election victory in December. And in the UK and in most Western economies, it is the small and medium-sized businesses that are really the engine of an economy. And depending on how they feel is really a huge dependence on how the entire sentiment is in the market. And Barclaycard did team up with YouGov, which is an online survey website, and they did reveal that yes, at the moment, at present, businesses are pretty optimistic about what the next 12 months do spell ahead. There are some specific data from that survey, and 6.3% is just how much they think their growth is going to be. When asked whether they're confident in the state of the UK economy, the answer was pretty much neutral. But in London, there was a little bit of less confidence. Only 3 in 10 London businesses are confident about business stability. But the headline there really is that they're confident in the growth, and they feel, at least with Brexit getting done, people are employing again, and investment can finally come back into the UK.
And a look at official data by Flexible Working Consultancy TimeWise. Well, that data is showing that a number of people earning more than £40,000 annually are working part-time. Of course, that has gone up by more than 50% in the last 8 years. And some say working part-time actually boosts their productivity. I don't know about that. Does this mean there's beginning to be a kind of a shift in thinking and talking about input, or how many hours you work to output, and of course, how effective you are?
Well, absolutely. You know, there is an old age saying that the hardest working people in the world are typically the lowest paid. And in the West, particularly in Europe, the 4-day working week is becoming a huge part of conversation. Some people, some countries are putting it into legislation, even in the equities and the currencies market. You know, traders who work exceptionally long hours. There have been discussions amongst CEOs of these stock exchanges that they do want to reduce working hours. So it does appear that most people have accepted it as a fact that the less hours you work when you're at work, you can be more productive. So with this £40,000, the reason why it's this amount is because most people who are working part-time are now working in top exec directorial roles. This seems to be a little bit more common. So you can get a lot of executive managers that are in the office 3-4 days a week. And what they have found is that they can be more productive. So if they do need to come into work for an important meeting, they will be there. But this work can be done back at home. And we do know, of course, during last year's UK election campaign, the Labour leader, the outgoing Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, did say that he would put into legislation a 4-day working week. So it may not be everywhere now, but it's certainly something that a lot of companies are picking up on.
Well, I guess the important thing is how effective you are at work. Thank you, Juliana. Enjoy the rest of the day.